What up, football family? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Show. I am your host, P.O. Culture. All right, it's week 13, ballers and ballettes, which means we have reached the regular season finale for fantasy football. Wow. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun, right? Seems like just yesterday we were wondering if there would even be a season. And now we're knocking on the door of the fantasy football playoffs. So if you've already clinched a spot, congratulations to you. If you're just like a lot of people in the couple of leagues that I'm in, still jockeying for playoff position, hey, stick around, tune in. We got some hot picks for you that can help push that team from a maybe to a champion. You never know. All you got to do is to be in it to win it, right? So let's get started. Now, what we're going to do this week is we're going to profile flex plays. I will never insult the intelligence of the fantasy football audience. I know that the majority of you, if you're this late in the season and you're still contending, that you got the ones and twos solidified. You got your good, strong defense, probably a tight end or so. And you're just looking to play the matchups with maybe that third slot or that flex play. And that's what we're going to profile this week. So without any further ado, let's get to it. Now, we're going to start in New England. Mr. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. Yes, the law firm. He will make a great flex play this week. Or a number one or number two running back if you're down a McFadden. Or if you're down Adrian Peterson and you're worried about him coming back healthy. Or you're just worried about your matchup. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis is your guy this week. For one, he is a touchdown machine. The brothers quietly amassed 7 touchdowns in 11 games and had 2 last week against the Philadelphia Eagles. Also, he has a great matchup this week against the Indianapolis Colts and their defense. Now, the only stat that I need to give you about the Indianapolis Colts defense is that their defensive coordinator got fired this week. Pause. Just had to let that sit in. So, you already know stat-wise, they are garbage. So, what that means for a high-powered offense like the New England Patriots is that, Belichick, he's going to go up top and he's going to go for the throat, step on it quickly, squeeze all of the life out of them, and then turn around, hand the ball off to the law firm the entire second half. I don't see him putting his quarterback, his 2 great tight ends, or Wes Welker in harm's way once the game is salted away. So look for the running backs to get it done, and Ben Jarvis Green Ellis leading the way because he is their goal line carrier. So look for double digits plus from Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. All right? Now, speaking of those said Colts, if you are an owner of Mr. Reggie Wayne, wide receiver, I know you were excited last week from his breakout performance, but don't you do it. I'm looking right at you. Don't you do it. Don't you start that brother this week. He was a 1-week wonder. I repeat, Reggie Wayne was a 1-week wonder. Now, with all due respect to Reggie Wayne, I got to put this out there. Yes, he's capable of doing that every week. Of course he's capable of doing that every week. But that was with Peyton Manning as the quarterback. I don't know if y'all heard this or not, but Curtis Painter has been benched. And now they'll be playing Ovechkin, O'Charlie's, O'Doul's, whatever that guy's name is. And no disrespect to him, but nobody knows him and nobody cares. Don't you play Reggie Wayne this week? Curtis Painter's not playing. And I'm going to take it a step further. I need y'all to come right here. The Indianapolis Colts have just solidified the suck for luck. This was intentional, and you heard it right here first. Take this to your water cooler tomorrow. It was intentional. They're trying to solidify a defeated 0-16 season so they can get Andrew Luck. And here's why. Think about it. The Colts came the closest they come all year to beating somebody last week against the Panthers. Curtis Painter looked confident. He was going to Reggie Wayne as a number 1 receiver like he should have been doing all season long. No disrespect to Garcon and all those other guys, Collie and whoever and whatever. But Reggie Wayne is the man. You're feeding Reggie Wayne. He's making plays. You almost win the game. You're looking at the GM like, oh, no. What are you doing? You're going to mess up my draft pick. So what they did was they snatched that brother up out of there and put in the only quarterback in recent history to start for a winless team. Yeah. He started for that 0-16 Lions team a few years back. So it's in the bag, baby. The Indianapolis Colts will select Andrew Luck with the first pick in the NFL draft because Bill Polian and the gang upstairs will not let it happen any other way. But I digress. Take that to your water cooler tomorrow. I guarantee you that's going to play out. Now, moving on with the show. If you're looking for another running back play, C.J. Spiller will be a good option for you this week as well, running back of the Buffalo Bills. Now, Spiller is filling in for injured Fred Jackson, who was an absolute beast. And on the side note, I really feel bad for Fred Jackson. If you've ever followed his bio and see all of the twists and turns and obstacles that he overcame to become an elite NFL running back this year, it's really sad to see him go out like that. I really feel bad for my homeboy and my brother, who's had him on the team and who's been solid and who's really lifted them. But hey, life goes on, football goes on. You don't feel sorry for your opponent, and neither do I. So let's keep moving. All right, now Spiller, last week filling in for Jackson, he totaled 55 yards rushing and 3 receptions, but that was against a tough Jets defense. This week he'll face a Titans defense that's a little more giving on the defensive side of the ball when it comes to running it. They're 22nd in the league against the run. They're also, the last couple of weeks, got absolutely ran over by Michael Turner and LeGarrette Blount, respectively. Now, of course, C.J. Spiller is not a big bruising running back like Blount, but he has multiple ways to get the ball. Not exactly sure since he started at running back if they'll use him in returns, but they're quickly fading out of the playoff picture, and I'm sure they're looking to pull out all the stops. So you may see him returning kicks as well. Any way that you can get points should help your team win. So if you have him on your bench or on your waiver wire, pick that brother up and plug him in this week. I love my Titans, but I got to keep it real. He's a great play this week. Now, we're going to move on to our cream team pick. Before we get to our Week 13 cream team pick, I want to back up a little bit and give a shout out to my homeboy Rodrigo Alcaraz, a.k.a. I Just Wet My Pants, because he told all of y'all to play Vince Young last week, and Vince Young put up 4 bills. 4 bills! Holler at him when you see him in the streets. That was not a homer pick. He landed that one. That was straight money. Now, good job by you, Rodrigo, by the way. This week, my homeboy Danny Padilla says you need to play this guy at quarterback if you're having some struggles or if you have a matchup problem at QB. And his name goes a little like this. That's right, Mr. Tim Tebow, Mr. Timothy Terrific. Get that brother into your lineup. Now, before you put me on pause and say, oh, whoa, 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 now you're catching Tebow mania. Now you're Skip Bayless. No. If you want to make the playoffs, listen to your boy. Tim Tebow has some actually he has some great numbers. 11 total touchdowns, only 2 turnovers. He's got almost 1,000 yards passing, almost 500 yards rushing. And get this, the brother only played half the season. Imagine what those numbers would be like had he started week 1 over Kyle Orton. So it's not like the guy's not getting it done. He's not costing you points with turnovers. Whatever he's not getting you in completions and receiving yards, he's getting you with rushings. I mean, he had 22 rushing attempts last week, for goodness sakes. The Broncos finally woke up and started to play an offense that he can thrive in. And he doesn't make many mistakes. By the way, he's going up against a terrible defense. No disrespect to you, Minnesota, but you saw the stats. You know you 29th against the pass. So even if he did decide to draw back and throw it a couple of times, you'll more than likely complete it against your secondary. You're down your number 1 cornerback. You just got injuries piling up all over the place, and you're still under the curse of Donovan McNabb. But I digress. I'm not getting on Donovan this week. We're going to keep this show rolling. All right. So with that being said, I personally will go on record as saying that Tim Tebow has a better matchup this week than Ben Roethlisberger, than Andy Dalton. He has a better matchup than Phillip Rivers Monday night against the Jaguars. So if you're hurting at quarterback or you're having a matchup problem there, hey, holler at Tim Tebow. You know those haters out there is not going to put him on their team. Scoop him up, put him in for a week, and slip your behind into those fantasy football playoffs, all right? Now, moving on to our Homer Alert pick this week. Now, with this being the regular season finale, I'm not going to tell you what the Homer pick is. Go back and watch some of the previous episodes, all right? Now, this week's Homer pick will be Mr. Steven Jackson, running back for the St. Louis Rams. So if you're from the Lou, or you're a big-time Steven Jackson fan, or you're a big-time Dallas fan and still wishes that they drafted Jackson instead of Julius Jones, get over it. DeMarco Murray is the real deal. But I digress. Yes, Jackson is a stud. Yes, Jackson gets it done. But Jackson has the worst matchup of the weekend. Why? I'm glad you asked. He's facing the San Francisco 49ers defense that's given up less than 80 yards a game and absolutely touchdowns this year. 0. Now, 0 touchdowns all year. And the Rams have a gimpy Sam Bradford, who messed up his ankle again last week. He may play. If he does play, he may not be mobile or effective. So they're going to gear up to stop the run, which is all Steven Jackson has to offer for that team. So if you're a fan of Steven Jackson and you play him week in and week out for whatever reason, and you're on the verge of missing out on the playoffs, you better look up Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis. You better look up a C.J. Spiller. You better do something, player. There is no tomorrow. Forget being a homer. You want to win. So get that brother out of your lineup. This concludes our season finale, at least regular season finale, of the Fantasy Football Show. As we like to say each and every week, life is a sport, so always play to win. I really wish each and every one of you good luck going into this week, and I certainly hope to see you back next week for our round 1 playoff edition of the show. All right? It's your boy PL. I'm out. God bless.